Okay, we're starting off with Reincarnation Part 3, okay? And we're going to be explaining some more things in Reincarnation Part 3. This is going to explain that Christ was Melchizedek, or some may say Melchizedek. Christ was Melchizedek in his past life, okay? And we're going to prove that today. You're going to easily prove that Christ was Melchizedek, the high priest. How do we know that? Okay, let's start off. Okay. St. John 8:51, it says, Verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, if a man keep my saying, he shall never see death. Okay? He shall never see death. Okay, this just basically saying if a man keep his saying, he shall never see death. The sayings, the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, if a man keeps those, then he shall never see death. What it means, we all have to face death. According to Hebrews 9:27, it says it's all appointed to man to die once, then the judgment. Okay, if you didn't, but once you were judged, okay, if you didn't do so good in that life, you will be sent on the earth again to play your judgment out. Okay, and if you don't do good in that life, you will be sent to earth again to play your judgment out. Okay, and you keep coming to earth until you get it right. But once you get it right by following the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, then once you die in that body, that last body, you will never see death. What that means to never come to the earth again and die out. To never come to the earth again and face death. You will be born of a spirit, and you will never have to come to the earth again to play your judgment out. Okay, that's why he said, if he keep my saying, he shall never see death. Okay. Let's go down to St. John 8:52. It says, Then said the Jews unto him, Now we know that thou hast a devil. Because they was bringing false accusations against Christ by saying that Christ had a devil within him, okay? I don't know why this thing keep popping up, but we going to continue. But as I was saying, then said the Jews unto him, Now we know that thou hast a devil. They said, Abraham is dead, and the prophets, and thou sayest, if a man keep my saying, he shall never taste death. So they didn't understand Christ, because Christ was speaking on a spiritual level, but his level was so high that they could not understand him, because Christ said, if a man keep his sayings, that he shall never see death. Okay, and the Jews were saying, you talking about we should never see death, but Abraham is dead, and the prophets. Okay, they didn't understand what Christ was saying. They wasn't on that spiritual level in their minds, okay? It says, let's look at 8:53. They says, Art thou greater than our father Abraham, which is dead? Okay, because Abraham is the father. Abraham is the father of Israel, okay? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He is the father of the Israelites, okay? He's the father of the Hebrews, okay? And the prophets are dead. Who makest thou thyself? Christ answered and said, If I honor myself, my honor is nothing. It says, it is my Father that honor me, of whom ye say that he is your God. Okay. 8 and 55. Yet ye have not known him, but I know him. And if I should say I know him not, I shall be a liar like unto you. But I know him and keep his saying. He says, your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad. So what is Christ talking about? Christ is telling these unbelieving Jews that your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and he was glad. Okay, so the question is, when was Christ around at the time of Abraham? When was Christ around at the time of Abraham? Just hold that question. Okay, St. John 8 and 57, it says, then said the Jews unto him, thou art not 50 years old, and how hast thou seen Abraham? So they telling Christ, you're not even 50 years old, and hast thou seen Abraham? Have you seen Abraham? And what sparked them to ask that question is basically when Christ said, your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day. So this tells me that Christ was somewhere around at the time back in the days of Abraham, because they say Abraham rejoiced to see his day. That's why the Jews said unto him, have you ever seen Abraham? Because you talking like you seen Abraham, right? Okay, let's see what Christ is talking about when he said Abraham rejoiced to see his day. Let's see. We're going to prove that reincarnation is legit, it cannot be denied, and as real as it gets. Let's prove this. So Abraham rejoiced to see Christ's day, because this is the words of Christ. Okay, and St. John 8 and 56. If you have a red letter Bible, the red letters, now it's obvious that these letters are not red because I'm reading this from the Blue Letter Bible organization. Okay, but if you have a Bible and it has the red print, which are the sayings of Christ, the red sayings are the sayings of Christ, then this whole context right here would be in red. Okay, so Christ is saying this. Okay, understand that Christ is saying this, and Christ is saying Abraham rejoiced to see his day. So let's find out this. Okay, and he saw it. It's letting you know. See that? And he saw it. It's not like he did not see it. So you can't lie against this context. But we first have to analyze and find out who was Abraham rejoicing to see. Because Christ said Abraham rejoiced to see my day. So let's see who is Christ. Okay. Let me fix this right quick. Okay. So let's see who is Christ. Let's go to Hebrews 7 and 1. Like I say, I'm sorry for the pop-ups. This message keeps popping up, but I think I just saw the problem. Okay, let's start out with Hebrews 7 and 1. It says, for this Melchizedek, king of Salem, see that? Melchizedek, king of Salem, Shalom. That means Melchizedek was known for the king of peace. Shalom, peace. Priest of the Most High. He was the priest of the Most High power who met Abraham. Okay? See, so Melchizedek met Abraham. Okay? Let's not forget, according to, where were we? Where was we? Let's not forget that Christ said that right here, Abraham rejoiced to see my day, according to St. John 8 and 56. Hebrews 7 and 1 says that Melchizedek, king of Salem, the priest of the Most High, met Abraham, returning from the slaughter of the kings, and blessed him. Okay? What is this talking about? Let's look at Hebrews 7:2. It says, to whom also Abraham gave a tenth part of all, first being by interpretation king of righteousness, and after that also king of Salem, which is king of peace. Okay? So it says that Abraham gave a tenth part of all. So this talking about that Abraham gave tithes, and it was a tenth part of all to the king of righteousness, which is Melchizedek. How do we know this? Let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 14, and let's begin with the 17th verse. It says, and the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of, I want to say, Chedorlaomer, and of the kings that were with him, and at the valley of Sheba, which is the king's dale. Okay, Genesis 14:18. See, and Melchizedek, king of Salem, okay, Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High. So king of the Salem, which is Melchizedek, he was a priest of the Most High. How do we know that? Let's go back to Hebrews 7:1. Because see, Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High, Hebrews 7:1 is just reiterating this. So let's go back to Genesis chapter 14. Okay. It says Melchizedek, king of Salem. We still in Genesis chapter 14, verse 18. Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread, wine, and he was the priest of the Most High. Genesis 14:19. And he blessed them and said, blessed be Abram. So Melchizedek, king of Salem, blessed them. Okay? And said, blessed be Abram. Now it says, Abram. This is the same for Abraham. This is before he became the father of all nations. His name was Abram at the time. We know later on down the line his name was changed to Abraham. Okay? So he said, blessed be Abram of the Most High power, possessor of heaven and earth. 14:20. And blessed be the Most High power, which have delivered thy enemies into thy hand. And he gave him tithes of all. Okay? And he gave him tithes of all. You see that? So let's go back. It says that basically Abraham gave King Melchizedek tithes of all. How do we know that? Let's go back to Hebrews 7:2. To whom also Abraham gave a tenth part of all. So according to Hebrews 7:2, it's just reiterating in Genesis chapter 14 that Abraham gave Melchizedek a tenth part of all. Okay? Now, let's go back to St. John. And let's look down at 8:56. It says, your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day. So how did Abraham rejoice? By giving Melchizedek a tenth of all. Okay? He paid tithes. He rejoiced by giving Melchizedek, according to Hebrews 7:2, he rejoiced by giving him a tenth part of all. Okay? Let's go back to Genesis 8:56. St. John 8:56. So this Abraham that rejoiced, Christ said he rejoiced to see my day. Christ was basically this is saying that Christ was Melchizedek, who Abraham rejoiced by giving a tenth part of his tithes to. Okay, so when he says Abraham rejoiced to see my day, it says he saw it. Christ is talking about that he was Melchizedek in his past life. Christ was Melchizedek, the king of Salem, because Christ is known as the king of peace. Christ is also known as the high priest. Okay, that's why Hebrews 7:3 says that Melchizedek was without father, without mother, without descent, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like unto the Son of God, the Son of power, abided a priest continually. So Christ was called a high priest. Melchizedek was called the king of Salem, which is the king of peace. And Christ was also called a king of peace. So Christ was Melchizedek, people. Okay? Okay, so we know that Christ was Melchizedek. Okay? King of peace. And according to St. John, it says 8:56 out of St. John, your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day. He's talking about, Christ is actually saying that he was Melchizedek. He was Melchizedek that Abraham rejoiced to see his day. He saw it. Okay. Now, we want to back up a little bit because I want to show you something. Let's go back up. I want to say to 37. Let's go back up a little bit and I'm going to show you this. Okay. Now, this is what Christ is basically saying to the unbelieving Jews. It says, I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me, because my word has no place in you. Okay? Now, let's continue. 8:38. I speak that which I have seen with my father, and ye do that which ye have seen with your father. Okay? They answered and said unto him, Abram, or Abraham is our father. Christ said unto them, if ye were Abraham's children, ye would do the works of Abraham. So, in simple terms, he's saying, since you claiming that Abraham is your father, you need to be doing the works of Abraham. But the unbelieving Jews, they were not doing the works of Abraham. Okay? It says, but now ye seek to kill me. So these people had murder on their minds. They were seeking to kill. Christ said, you seek to kill me, a man that have told you the truth, which I have heard of the Most High power. Now, he said, this did not Abraham. Okay? So he said basically that Abraham did not do this. Abraham didn't seek to kill him like the unbelieving Jews did. Okay? Abraham didn't seek to do that. So this right here, the question is, if Abraham did not do this, once again, you mean to tell me that Christ was around in Abraham's day? Because when you view the Old Testament mentions that Christ will come. But he said Abraham did not do this. Abraham didn't seek to kill him. So this let me know that Christ was around the time of Abraham. And Abraham did not seek to kill Christ. Who Christ compared himself to be? Well, we just went over that. Christ was Melchizedek. Okay? Because it says that basically, it says, according to Hebrews 7 and 2, Abraham gave a tenth part of all. See? Abraham gave a tenth part of all. See? Let's look at Hebrews 7 and 4. Now consider how great this man was, and to whom even the patriarch Abraham, gave the tenth of the spoils. So Abraham gave a tenth part of the spoils. Abraham gave a tenth part of all. Abraham gave tithes to Melchizedek. That's why Christ made that statement. The unbelieving Jews, he said, you seek to kill me, a man that have told you the truth, which I have heard of the Most High power. This did not Abraham. Why? Because Abraham didn't seek to kill him, because Abraham knew better. He gave tenths of all. He paid tithes to Melchizedek. Okay? So Christ was comparing himself to Melchizedek, which he was Melchizedek in his past life. Okay? So this pretty much sums up this lesson. But I want to show you a couple more things before we close out. Okay? Let's look at 8 and 54. Well, let's look down at St. John 8 and 57. Then said the Jews unto him, thou art not yet 50 years old. Hast thou seen Abraham? St. John 8 and 58. Christ said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. Okay, because Christ was also Adam. That's another lesson that we will bring forth eventually based on reincarnation. But I'm trying to get you to see the point here. That when he said Abraham rejoiced to see his day, he's talking about Melchizedek. Christ was Melchizedek in his past life. Okay? Okay, before we close this out, let's go into Revelation 10 and 9. But before we go into Revelation 10 and 9, we want to go in Revelation chapter 1. So let's get that. So now we are going into Revelation chapter 1. And after Revelation chapter 1, we'll go into Revelation 10 and 9. And we'll get some more precepts on reincarnation. Okay, let's look at Revelation chapter 1. Let's go into that right quick. I'm not going to stay on this very long, but I just want to show you something concerning reincarnation, or some may say regeneration. Okay, so here it is, Revelation 1 and 7. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Every eye shall see him. Okay. And it's not talking about resurrection night. Because when you dead and you in the grave, then the eyes of that person cannot see you at all. In fact, that body is decayed and that body is corroded. So every eye shall see him. That means people will be reincarnated, walking around on the earth during that time when Christ returns. Okay. Then it says, and they also which pierced him. They also which pierced him. Okay. And all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. So it says, they also which pierced him. Okay, we know that the Roman soldiers, the Italians, pierced Christ while his body was hanging upon the cross. So these people will see Christ also when he returns. It say they also which pierced him. So if Christ walked the earth 2,000 years ago, and the Romans, which are the Italians, crucified him and pierced him hundreds and hundreds of years ago, how would they be able to see him when he returns to the earth? Some people say, well, the bodies would be resurrected. How can you resurrect the body that died out hundreds and hundreds of years ago? That doesn't make any sense. I know if I tried to go back hundreds and hundreds of years ago, if I can go back and try to find a body that's been in the earth for over 2,000 years, it would be impossible. You talking about Roman soldiers that pierced Christ hundreds and hundreds of years ago. These bodies are corroded. These bodies there's none in existence. The only way those who pierced him will be able to see him when he comes with clouds is through regeneration or reincarnation. Okay? Let's get something else concerning this. Let's go to Revelation 9, 10 and 9. Okay? Okay, this is John the Revelator that wrote the book of Revelation on the island of Patmos. Okay? This is what it reads. It says, and I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. Okay? And he said unto me, take it and eat it up. And it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. This is a metaphor for this truth. It's just saying basically, the angel said it to him, take it and eat it up. Take what and eat it up? He said the book, the little book. What is the little book? The little book is the Bible, the Most High's power, holy word. The Bible, that's the little book. He said unto me, take it and eat it up. To eat it up means to study, to show yourself approval. To eat it up means to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments within your heart. To eat it up means to not overlook significant passages in the Bible and to apply the Bible to your everyday living. That's to eat it up. Okay? It's saying it shall make thy belly bitter. Why I say it shall make thy belly bitter? And why I say that it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey? Because when you come into this truth, it's a wonderful thing. It's sweet as honey. When you come into this truth, you're excited. You want to spread the good news to everyone. You want to help as many as you can. You want to show friends and family about this truth. Okay? But later on down the line, it becomes bitter. It becomes bitter. Why? Because the hell that comes with this truth. It becomes bitter, knowing that you can't do the things that you did once upon a time, as far as celebrating holidays, as far as eating unclean foods, as far as keeping the Sabbaths, and so forth. It becomes bitter if you're not careful. So Revelation 10 and 10 says, and I took the little book out the angel's hand, and I ate it up. And it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, excuse me. As soon as I had eaten it, the enemy trying to stop me, but this word is going forth regardless. As soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And I paid close attention to Revelation 10 and 11. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again thou must prophesy again before many people and nations and tongues and kingdoms. Well, we only know that John only bare record in the Bible once when he wrote the book of Revelation on the island of Patmos. So what is he talking about? He said, thou must prophesy again before many people. Because when John the Revelator wrote the book of Revelation, in fact, there were nobody around at that time. He was isolated on an island by himself when he received this revelation. So it says that he must prophesy again before many people, nations, and tongues and kingdoms. The only possible way that can ever be achieved is through regeneration, or some may say reincarnation. Okay? Many people, nations, and tongues. So truth be told, John the Revelator is out there right now as I speak, that's bringing forth this truth, and some individual that we don't know of. Okay?